Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with HPE Networking Instant On. To host today, we have David working SMB category North America, and O'Hara Wagner. She is their SMB Business Development Manager. David will be the primary presenter today, and if anyone has any questions, please submit them in the question box so that David or O'Hara will be able to answer them at the end of today's presentation. David, thank you so much for being with us today. We're really looking forward to seeing what you have to share with us. I am finished for now, so please go ahead and take it on over.
Thank you, Julie. I'll get us kicked off here.
Go ahead, start.
So the bulk of this presentation is going to be on a recent software update to the Instant On interface, and David's going to go over that with you. But before we jump into that, I just wanted to provide a really quick refresher in case you are new to the Instant On product line or just here for the first time. So, you know, what we always say is simple, secure, smart. This is an extremely simple product, not only to set up, but to manage. You don't need to be a tech guru to do so. The security is built in. You're getting enterprise-grade performance and security. And finally, there are no licensing or subscription fees whatsoever. So one-time upfront cost. And again, you're getting that enterprise-grade product at a price point tailored for small business. David, next slide, please. So one of the common points of feedback we've gotten over the years now is, you know, that we were missing the gateways to have a full stack solution in a single pane of glass view. We launched with access points, added switches to our portfolio, and now we do have 2 secure gateways that have been released. You know, to provide the full stack solution for you. We're a one-stop shop now. So I'm going to turn it over to David. He's going to go over some recent software updates that we'd like to highlight for you today that will affect the user experience in a great way. Over to you, David.
Thanks, O'Hara. So here is our cloud software roadmap, and today we're going to talk about 3.3.2, which is where we're at right now. But I'm going to talk about all of the features that we've released since 3.3.0. And what I also want to highlight here is that we typically like to have around 3 to 4 releases a year, and a lot of minor releases in between and maintenance releases as needed. This is very different from the competition, and this is kind of the benefit and kind of the unsung superpower of Instant On compared to everybody else in the SMB space. We built this, I mean, we're on this journey, been on this journey creating this product for about 6 or 7 years now, and we created it from the ground up to be cloud native. So that allows us to be very agile with our releases. It's not you know, a monolithic thing where we have to update an entire code base and recompile it. That's not the case. We really are working off of this kind of microservices architecture that allows us to really dial in specific features and create modules and release them very, very quickly, which you can see kind of in our release schedule. So again, 3 to 4 major releases a year, a lot of minor releases in between, and we'll talk about everything that we have in 3.3.2 up until now in this latest release. So here's the laundry list of all the features that we've added. Again, our cloud platform is very much a product as much as our hardware. So we are constantly evolving and taking feedback and adding features and increasing the usability of our portal and our mobile app. So here's kind of the long laundry list of features that we've recently added. Some of them are pretty self-explanatory. For example, we've added the ability to do port profiles or radius profiles, so you don't have to keep putting in the same port settings or radius settings every time in different parts of our UI. So a lot of things like that are pretty self-explanatory, but today I'm going to talk about a few of these features that I want to highlight and kind of bring to the forefront out of this whole list. Okay, the first one is remote client VPN with WireGuard. So if you do any kind of VPN, WireGuard is kind of the new protocol on the scene compared to, you know, OpenVPN and IPsec. It's very fast, it's very lightweight, and it's open source, so we now support it. So if you want to connect a client whether it's a mobile phone or a laptop or desktop. You can do that using the open source software from WireGuard, and you can configure our gateways to accept that client VPN tunnel. And we have two models of gateways, in case you're not aware. We have an entry-level gateway, and then we have a mid-level gateway. So the entry-level gateway, the SG1004, can allow 10 concurrent VPN client VPN connections, while the mid-range can allow up to 25. So that's kind of the difference between the two models. And here you kind of see a graphical representation of how it would work. So if you have a remote client, it'll be able to connect to the gateway, and it'll be able to access the local LAN of the gateway. But I do want to be a little bit clear here. When you're creating a remote VPN client to a gateway, you can access that gateway's local area network, but you're not going to be able to go through a site-to-site VPN tunnel between two gateways and go to the other side to another gateway, right? So you're only going to be able to access the gateway that you're remoting into directly. And that goes for the second gateway on the right here. You can have other remote clients connected to that gateway as well to access that local area network remotely, but you're not going to be able to go through a site-to-site VPN tunnel from one side to the other. And if you're interested in looking at or downloading the client VPN software, it's available here at wireguard.com/install, and it supports Windows, Android, macOS, iOS, and Linux. Another feature that we added for the gateways is the ability to replace the gateway with a different model. So previously, when you want to replace a gateway, say something happens to it and you need to replace it, you can do so by just using the same model, and it's very easy to do on our platform, where you essentially just click replace, and then it'll automatically copy all of the settings that you had previously in your previous product into the new product. But now what we've done is, if you want to replace your secure gateway with a different model, for example, you've got an entry-level model and you want to move up to the mid-level later on for any reason, then you can do that and you can replace it with the mid-level. Or if you're for some reason, maybe switching gear out and you want to downgrade a particular site because you don't feel like you need the mid-level version of the gateway anymore at that site, and you want to downgrade it to an entry-level version, then you can do that as well. And here, this is what it will look like in our platform. If you go directly to the gateway, there's an option to click replace device, and then it'll just onboard you very easily on how to replace that. And here's just an example of the scenarios. There's about 3 scenarios that you can have when you're switching between different models. I'm not going to go through all 3 scenarios, but I do want to highlight that there's been some work done here to basically translate the configuration from one model to another, right? Because there's differences in the port densities of these 2 models. So obviously, the config is not going to map like 1-to-1, right? Because the product is different. But what we will do is whatever ports are there, we will map to the new product. And then whatever ports are left over will just be blank, and you can do something else to them and reconfigure those blank ports. And here's another scenario, and then here's another scenario. I'll leave these in the slide deck for reference. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight that there are differences in configuration that will get mapped to the new product when you replace it. Okay, and now guest network on switches. So, when we first launched Instant On, we launched with access points, and we did have the capability to do guest networks, right, on an SSID, which will allow you to use a very basic built-in captive portal to redirect users and have them accept to your terms of service. We've never had that on our switches, but if you have a gateway in your network, you can now have that same experience on the switch because it's going through the gateway. So the gateway will be hosting the captive portal. So it's really kind of the same functionality that we've had on our access points, but now we're putting it on the gateway, and we're allowing you to extend that guest network to a wired VLAN. So this is what it would look like in our UI. Really, really easy. Again, if you've never used Instant On before, our UI is super simple to use. Everything's pretty organized. And self-explanatory. If you just spend a few minutes with it, you'll be able to get it pretty easily. But this is what it would look like in the UI. And then for your switch, right, you can enable it on a port and enable the guest user access on that port. Okay. Client classification tag. So, you know, it's really important when you're managing a network to be able to see all the different clients that are connected, of course. But you may want to classify certain devices just to make it easier for you to organize your network. For example, if you've got like a home network and you want to organize all of your kids' devices into a single group, now you can do that with classification tags, which is really nice. Here you can go to the client. So if you look at all the clients in the gateway, you can now go to the classification tags, and you can go to manage, and you can basically add your own tags to any device in your network, which is nice. Okay, and that's it. I mean, there's a lot of other features that we've added, but I just kind of wanted to highlight a few of them, so to give you a taste of what we've added. Yeah, I really encourage anybody, especially if you're a current Instant On user now. These features are all live already. They've been live since December. Yeah, give it a try. Let us know what you think. Give us your feedback. If there's something missing or if there's kind of an experience that you weren't expecting, we'd love to yeah, hear your feedback. So let us know.
Thank you, David and O'Hara, for that presentation. And yes, we've got some questions from the audience, and I will start off by reading them off to you, of course, one at a time. And if you're ready, I'm ready to go with the first one.
I'm ready.
Okay, terrific. Here we go. First question. What industries are showing the most interest in the latest Instant On lineup?
I would say in general, we get a lot of K through 12, right? Education, places of worship. I think in general, we're a great alternative to some of our competitors that don't give you support out of the box, right? Because we offer 90 days of phone support for the first 90 days, and we give you unlimited chat support for the remainder of the warranty. So that's different from one of our main competitors. So yeah, I would say in those areas we're doing pretty well. Is there anything that you want to add to that, O'Hara?
No, I think that's right, David. I mean, I would also just add hospitality as another one to list there.
Yeah, yeah, and I think one of the features that a lot of our partners and our customers like compared to the competition, again, is that the fact that we share the operating system with our enterprise team, we get a lot of kind of automatic security fixes and patches just through that experience. And so a lot of our competitors don't have that kind of scale that they're deploying in to get that kind of experience that they can trickle down into the SMB product.
Excellent. Thanks, you guys. I've got the next question here ready for you. How does Instant On help reduce support time for small IT teams?
Oh, that's a great question. So I think part of it is the fact that our architecture is cloud native. We're able to push out bug fixes and maintenance releases very, very quickly compared to before. Like, so you'll notice we released our major release 3.3 in August, but we've had probably 2 or 3 minor releases in between to fix bugs and to introduce, you know, critical security patches. And all of that is automatic, right? It's through the cloud. You don't have to download any files yourself. You don't have to upload and upgrade any devices yourself. It all happens seamlessly in the cloud. Now, obviously, there's always like human error when there's code involved. So if there's ever a problem with an update, we can easily roll that back also to the field. So and we can either buy some time for us to fix the problem, or if we fix the problem very quickly within days, then we'll just push that maintenance fix out and upgrade the entire field, maybe even before they've upgraded the previous, you know, update. So again, I think our agility and our ability to fix code and push code out is very different from a lot of our competitors.
Excellent. That sounds extremely efficient. Thank you for that. Next question here. how do you ensure consistency across hardware, apps, and cloud experience?
So for our product line, I mean, it's really just the cloud experience. I mean, we do give you the ability to locally manage our switches in some rare cases where you know, you just have some kind of apprehension with using the cloud. But I think for the US market, we're pretty much all cloud for everything now. I mean, you really can't avoid it. I don't think there should be any apprehension there. But for our cloud experience, because everything's cloud native, we built everything on microservices. The experience that you get using the web portal versus the experience you get on the mobile app is exactly the same. I mean, you're just getting less screen real estate when you're using a mobile device or a tablet, right? I prefer using the web portal because it's just more real estate to work with. But it's really the same system that you're tapping into, which is very different from a lot of our competitors that have to maintain a separate app and then maintain a separate web portal. And they're not, you know, there's no parity between the two.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that, David. Next question here. How will Instant On continue to compete as Wi-Fi and switching evolves?
You know, as I mentioned, we are constantly evolving our platform. I think the benefit that we have over our competitors is that we're a bit more agile in our releases. So we're always adding to the platform and making it better and better. I think our competitors, because they're still working with this legacy architecture, whether it's a controller based or controller software based, or you're just running that controller software as a virtual machine in the cloud, that code base is very monolithic, right? And when they have to enhance it, they have to recompile everything, and we don't have to do that. So we're very agile in that sense. So I think that's how we keep up. You know, obviously, if you've been keeping up with any news with HPE Networking and Juniper Networks, there's a strong AI background within Juniper that we've added to the company. So, you know, a lot of those learnings will hopefully in the future start trickling down to the Instant On product as well. So we're always thinking about ways of enabling, you know, future features. And being cloud native really sets the stage for us to accelerate that using AI.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Couple more questions left here. Next one. How does replacing a gateway with any SKU reduce operational downtime?
Oh, so that's a great question. I think, you know, having the ability to see the gateway and the access point and the switch, especially if you've got an Instant On access point and switch already in your network, the ability to also just see that gateway in single pane of glass is beneficial in and of itself, right? Because if you're using a consumer router or if you're using the gateway that's provided by your service provider, it's going to be a separate app, right? It's going to be separate features. So having that synergy with the gateway, and for example, right, the feature that I just talked about earlier, how we've added guest networks to the wired network, right? All of that is because there's synergy between the gateway and the switch, and we can do a lot of that now with the gateway kind of in the mix. But if you've got that gateway separate from Instant On, then you're really not going to get that synergy, and all the features are going to be separate. They may or may not work with the rest of your network. Yeah, so I think having it all under one single pane of glass, and then support as well, right? If you have issues, you can all go to one place. I think that's very, very beneficial.
Excellent. Last question here for you. Where would you recommend someone go to on your website if they're looking for some of the following? Customer service support, tech support, and or any of your latest and greatest products?
Sure. So on our website, we've got a couple of things that you can tap into. There's obviously a support section that you can tap into where you can get the phone number to call. And if it's within the first 90 days, we'll support you there. And they're actually pretty lenient. So I think even if it's outside of that, they'll help you if they can. Otherwise, it's going to be chat support. And then also on our website, there's a community blog where we release a lot of information about these releases, where you can talk to others as well. So I highly encourage you to join our community so you can leave any messages for us, right? Any feedback, and also discuss with other peers that are using the product as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much for answering all of those questions. David or O'Hara, do any of you guys have any parting words for the end of the webinar?
Just wanted to say thank you again for spending your time with us this morning. As you can see on the screen right now, both David and myself have provided our HPE email addresses. So if you have questions now or in the future, need our help, being directed to any specific resources or have product or deployment questions, I would encourage you to reach out. We are both 100% dedicated to the Instant On product line, and we would love to help you. So please do reach out if you need us.
Thank you, O'Hara. David, thank you so much to both of you for answering all of those questions for us today. And if anyone winds up having, of course, any further questions, please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned or shown here today, please remember that this webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so we can all view it again, which I know many of us do from time to time, as well as the general public. So a lot of views do take place, which we're very glad, and that's why we all love YouTube, right? Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful, fantastic day.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Julie.
everyone.
Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Till next time.